Hey everyone and welcome to another DIY video. Today we are going to build a power bank supply capable of delivering 30 volt 3 amps. Now I wanted to make this project for years and finally I put it all together. It's not hard or anything, but the parts were very difficult to get in my country. Now you can find similar videos on YouTube, but they just don't give you enough explanation. They just play music and show you how to solder a kit. Now I will try my best to provide enough information and basic knowledge background that can help you designing your own power supply in the future. I hope you will like it. I will start explaining the different types of power supplies in the market and then show you how to build this power bank supply. Now let's get started. First of all, you need to know that there are three types of power supplies in the market. The first one is unregulated, then we have switching power supply, and the last is linear regulated power supply. Let's start with the first type. So you have a high mains voltage, for example 220 AC voltage in Tunisia. This voltage is fed to a transformer to step it down. Then it is rectified with the help of a bridge rectifier that uses 4 diodes to get a DC voltage. Then this DC voltage goes to a low pass filter. Now the problem with this power supply is the high noise. So if you are building an analog circuit, this will make your day a nightmare. Now let's talk about the second type, switching power supply. Now this power supply is used a lot, especially in phone and laptop chargers that use small transformers. It works this way. So you have a high voltage AC, it goes to 4 diodes or a 4 bridge rectifier to turn into DC and use a transistor or MOSFET to switch on and off that power. This is how it got its name. We will end up with a high frequency square waves that goes to a transformer, a special type of transformer that works with high frequency, and then step it down and rectify it again. Now this power supply is very useful if you have a limited space and you can't fit a transformer in there, since high frequency transformers are smaller in size compared to the normal frequency, which is around 50 Hz. Now the problem with this power supply is its complexity. Now the diagram is very complex and it's beyond the spec of this video. I will in the future make a whole video about how to make a switching power supply. Now let's talk about linear power supply. The way it works is very simple. So we have a high mains voltage, for example 220 AC voltage, gets rectified using a full bridge rectifier. Then this output DC voltage gets smoothened a little bit using big capacitor, usually around 2000 microfarad. Now this voltage, the output voltage DC, is regulated using a fixed or a variable voltage regulator. Now enough explanation and let's get started with the build. The kit that we are going to use for the build quality is really surprising. It has silk layout for different name parts and double-sided copper layers. I will provide a link to this documentation in the description. It have all the information that you will ever need, like the input and output voltage, the max current, and a part list for all the components that came up with the kit. Last you will find a schematic for the kit, but it's lacking the 24 voltage regulator for the fans. Now feel free to use this if you like. In my case, I searched more in the internet and found this schematic. It's easier to read and understand, but there is a MOSFET instead of the power transistor, but we can ignore that and pretend it's a power transistor. Now I used my multimeter in continuous function and double checked all the links for different parts and it matched this layout, so it's fine to use it. Now let's start with the build. For the parts you will need a 24 AC transformer with 3 amps capabilities, the kit itself, a digital multimeter, an on-off switch, and a socket for the wires. Of course, if you want to add more accessories, you can go with a USB header. First, start by soldering the parts. This took me around 1 hour to solder. It's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is follow the printed silk. Then solder the fan and use this diagram to wire your multimeter, and finally test it. Now for the main body, I used wood since it's cheap, pretty durable, and easy to cut and shape. Make sure to leave holes for the fans and of course keep your working place clean. Now solder the rest of the accessories and lock it in place using hot glue and double check everything works before completely closing it. and finally use it to burn some parts, because why not?